haven't set a default light and a default color to be passed to our shaders for usage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly create an NGL light, and I'll let star L equals new NGL light, and I'm going to set it at let's say 0, 1, 1, and I'm going to make it white, so 1, 1, 1, and I'm going to make it an NGL light local, which is effectively a simple point light. If I say L pointed to enable, it will turn on the light, and it'll pass those parameters at the moment because I'm using an older version of GLSL. Basically what it's going to do is it's going to set the parameters for GL light source 0 in this case because it's my only light, and I've got a very quick sort of shader set there. Really, if we're going to start using GLSL 2.0, none of these are all deprecated and they're not used, and we pass in our own light structures. But until Apple get their arse into gear and upgrade to GLSL2, I'm going to do this as my lowest common denominator. And I'm also going to create an NGL material. We've got some built-in stuff, built-in materials in NGL, so I'm going to use black plastic. If I do m.use, that's going to set some default material parameters. So what we should have now is a black plastic looking material on our teapot there, and you can see that's sort of giving us a basic black plastic lighting model there, which will do for now. What I want to do now is to wire up a slot for our button here, which is going to pop up a Qt color selection dialog box and allow us to select the colors. So GL window, I'm going to add a new slot. This one's just going to be a void set color like this, and we will brief a slot to set the color in glwindow.cpp. I'll just prototype that briefly. Void GL window set color, and I'll wire up the slot in main window here so that I will connect. Oops. Go here. Connect. M UI pointed to M color. The signal is going to be clicked. MGL, and the slot is going to be set color. Oops. And that should wire it up to there. So when I click the button, it's just going to call that slot, and I'm going to hash include Q color dialog there, and in the set color, what I'm first going to do is we're going to create a Q color equals Q color dialog, and we should have a method just called get color, I believe it is. Get color there, and what that will do is pop up a color dialog and return our Q color, which I'm just going to call color there. So Q color equals Q color there. We can then check color dot is valid. Will return true or false if a valid color is returned. If cancels collect, it won't return a valid color. So if color is valid, this is where we want to actually go through and set in our shader. So in our shader, if we look here in our fragment shader, you can see that we've got this uniform vec for color for our shader. So what I want to do is set that to the RGB values that are passed back from our color selection dialog. So I should be able to go through here now and say, grab an instance of my shader manager, NGL shader manager star shader equals NGL shader manager instance. So grab that shader manager. I'm going to make our currently active shader the Blinn one. So use. Now Blinn's being used throughout this, but if we are toggling different shaders as we go, we need to make it the currently active one. So in this case, I've just set it to be active. And now what I want to do is say shader, set shader parameter, and I'm setting it from 4 floats. I'm setting it with the shader Blinn. I'm setting the parameter color, and now I'm going to grab from color here the red, the green, and the blue values. Now, a Q color has a built-in method to grab the color elements. So in this case, color dot, and what we want is the RGB values as float. So if I go red F, that's going to return the red as a float. Color dot green F, color dot blue F, and I'm going to set 1.0 there for my alpha value. We'll make a call to update GL to redraw. With a bit of luck, now when I press the button, I should get the color dialog pop up. Should give me the ability to select a color, and that will then be loaded to the shader and used as the current diffuse color. So choose color. Here's my dialog box. Let's choose something bright, and you see that that's now been passed to the shader and is being used as the currently active color. We'll go choose color again and press cancel. It just goes back to the default value. And I can scale, I can set the position, I can choose which object I'm doing, and I can toggle wireframe. And also, the whole dialog can be resized to the correct size. So that is the entire system generated now. That's the end of this rather lengthy video tutorial, and I will upload a link to the code and some text description on my blog site, and then all the videos will be posted on YouTube so you can see all the values and everything else.